Up with KREM begins now.
Right now on Up with KREM, we're taking you outside as clouds start to depart from the sky. We've got a couple of lingering showers on the backside of our morning system. We're talking high fire danger as we head into the middle of the week.
Command and start. 2, 1.
You hear it there. Jeff Bezos just launched into the atmosphere. We're tracking his historic launch into space. And here on Earth, Spokane received millions of dollars in stimulus money. The question now, though, how will they spend it? All right, hey there, 7:31 on the dot. Glad to have you here with us. This morning, we're talking about Blue Origin. That's the big story of the day because, gosh, what a thrill it was to watch that historic moment.
It was so cool to just see how it came down with the big parachutes that deployed, how it safely landed on Earth, that they were saying that 6 feet above the ground, that they released this big amount of air, so it kind of felt like a pillow that landed. But we were all saying here, watching it live, that it looked a little bit more jolty than a pillow landing.
Well, yeah, and you know, they have you see the altitude there, and it went from like 200 to 0 really fast. So I was like, oh, wow, that happened really quick.
But so many smiles coming out of that spaceship. And when they asked, are you okay? Bezos said, best day ever.
How could you not?
Yeah, I mean, how could you not? That was absolutely incredible. About 10 minutes. And just think about it this way. Somebody paid about $28 million for that 10 minutes. That's,
that is an expensive first class ticket.
Yeah, that is spendy. So we want to know, would you be willing to take a flight to space? Text us 509-448-2000. Don't just say yes or no. Tell us why.
Yeah, let us know.
We would know why you wouldn't. Dana Marie and I are no. Sorry.
I'm
Jeremy?
a hard yes.
He's
So
yes.
yeah, absolutely. Let's get up into the atmosphere and figure out what's going on. And we're going to start this morning by doing that from the ground like normal people. You know, that's what we are. But hey, we get to experience some of the weather down here on the ground. And you can see a little bit of cloud cover early this morning. Brandon T. Jones is outside at Manitou Park, and he said there's a little bit of light rain coming down. Unfortunately, we have not seen enough rain to measure anywhere just yet, even though it has wet the road in some locations, and temperatures staying in the 60s as we kick things off in this 7:30 half hour. Red flag warnings still in place throughout the day today. The ones on the western side of that magenta shaded area last until 10 p.m. on Wednesday. On the eastern side, that's eastern Washington and North Idaho, that's noon on Wednesday. Lightning and it's windy and dry throughout the day. So we have a lot to talk about in terms of weather. For now, it's some of those showers and storms moving through the region. There is a little bit of lightning. Let's go back to that here right now. We're starting to see a little bit of that lightning pop up. That is just out to the west of Spokane. That lightning is what is going to play a big role in whether or not we see any fires spark up throughout the day, and some heavy rain now coming down here on South Hill. I can hear it hitting the roof right now. And so hopefully we get a little more moisture out of some of these storms because we need it. The wind gusts do start to die down later on today for us, but they pick up across the western portion of the Columbia Basin. Temperatures are on the rise. We go from the 70s into the upper 80s later on this afternoon.
Yeah, you can really hear that outside right now. All right, well, new overnight, 3 people are dead following a shooting on the Nez Perce Reservation. According to police, the shooting happened at the Sundown Motel off of Highway 2 in Kamei, and that happened on Monday. Multiple law enforcement agencies were investigating overnight. The Lewis County Sheriff's Office will take the lead on this investigation. Deputies haven't said if anyone was arrested.
I will tell you now that we do have 3 fatalities in this shooting. It's an ongoing investigation. We are still trying to figure things out.
Governor Brad Little tweeted in response to the shooting, "My heart is with the people of Kamei." The investigation still ongoing at this time, but there is not an active threat to that area. Well, this year, Spokane County and its cities received tens of millions of dollars in federal stimulus money. The question now, though, how to spend it. On Monday, local leaders announced their plan to work that out. So let's break it down. Spokane County will receive about $100 million. The city of Spokane, $80 million. The Valley, about $16 million. And the federal government gave local governments a lot of leeway when it comes to how to spend it. Local leaders say they want to make sure they spend it wisely.
We look at these monies going to restore services, to make businesses and families whole again, but also those strategic investments that will pay off dividends down the road.
Some priorities include continuing COVID prevention efforts, refunding programs that were cut back during the pandemic, and making Spokane better prepared for any future COVID-like emergencies. Really, the only thing not on the table, using this money for anything that would require yearly spending.
7:35 now. It's time for your morning rush. More news in less time.
Up first, Costco decided to keep some of its special hours for seniors and vulnerable people. The warehouse chain was set to end its early shopping time later this month, but has partially reversed course as case numbers rise. Shoppers 60 and older and those who are immune compromised can shop in store from 9 to 10 on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
A new tool developed by the University of Washington allows researchers to track vaccine hesitancy by county and zip code all over the country. Now, this map shows Washington, Adams County had the most vaccine hesitancy at 15%. By comparison, the lowest counties in the state had around 4 to 5% hesitancy. The tool is designed to help identify which areas of the state needs targets education about the vaccine.
The oldest nurse in Pierce County decided to retire. So 96-year-old Florence C.C. Rigney made that decision after a 70-year-long career at Multi-Care Tacoma General. So this actually isn't the first time she's tried to retire. The first time was 30 years ago, but that really didn't stick. She returned to work after 6 months because she said she just didn't like sitting around.
And 3 weeks after the historic heat wave, Washington is still seeing those heat effects. The water in Commencement Bay is being clouded by what's called glacial flour. It's made when glacials grind against rocks. The runoff is feeding into the Puyallup River, which is then carrying it into Commencement Bay. And that's your Morning Rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media.
We are 3 days away from the Tokyo Olympics opening ceremony here. And so we want to talk about the 3 things you need to know about the games today. So up first, number 1, the USA women's soccer team is playing their first Olympic match in Tokyo tomorrow morning. They are playing against Sweden. So the last time these two teams faced off in the Olympic Games was back in 2016. Sweden won that match, knocking the USA team out of the tournament. So the team captain says the outcome lit a fire under the team.
Playing in that game, I know how disappointed we all were. And for me, it has lit a fire going into 2019 and also here for 2020. And it was against Sweden. And so it seems kind of rich that we get to play them first game of this Olympics. So I'm really excited about that. And Sweden in general is just a great squad. I mean, we tend to play them at every world tournament. So I'm excited that we get to see them again.
That'll be one to watch for sure. So if you want to catch that game, you'll have to stay up or wake up early because they actually play at 1:30 a.m. local time tomorrow morning.
And 2, Toyota, one of the top Olympic sponsors, has pulled its games-related TV ads in Japan. This move comes after the countrywide protests against the games due to the uncontrolled spread of COVID-19. The spokesperson for the game said that while Toyota has pulled their ads, they do continue to support the games.
There is a mixed public sentiment towards the games at this moment or even past year towards the games. So in that respect, there must be a decision by each company in terms of how they should be able to disseminate, how they should be able to convey their messages to the public audiences from its own corporate perspective.
Well, there have been several athletes sidelined from the games already, including a U.S. women's tennis player and gymnast.
Number 3, like many things that have changed because of the pandemic, the Olympic ceremony will look different this year. International and local fans are barred from the events to cut down on community spread of the coronavirus, but you can still watch from home the opening ceremonies that begin at 4 a.m. local times. You got to get up early.
We'll be up.
All right. Well, the Manitou Japanese Garden is reopening today for the first time after renovations.
Brandon T. Jones is giving us a sneak peek.
Good morning. The sun's trying to peek out a little bit right now from behind those clouds, and this is a great place to be. Some koi fish just swam right by me, and Coming up in just a few moments, I'll tell you all about this beautiful scene right here in Spokane.
Some of those clouds departing and moving their way out as sun is expected to shine later on today.